I'm going to do this in bunches, I guess, because I'm ripping through this. Just got to, I'm almost done chapter 16. We have this thing, Snell wants to like sell off his family and stuff. Then he kind of got what's coming to him from Bellum Nom. Tried to run away from him, and Bellum catches him and gives him to this dude, and he gets stuck in a cage or whatever. I like the epigraph where it's like the best student I ever had. He could do all these flourishes and things, but as soon as it was a real duel, he just crumpled. Um, Feels that way a little bit with this kid. Once he finds someone bigger than he is, he can't do anything about it. Um, we have Berthol got Berthol and Char getting taken away. Then Char kind of does his Hulk smash roar whatever. Um, Very very cool. And now I just finished reading that Murillo is on his way. He's trying to get Harlow, and Gorlas is there, and they are about to have a duel. So that's cool. And I also forgot to mention uh, Seba, this guy who, for humble measures, is supposed to go and take out more of these guys. Um, I think it's Fisher Keltath that like confronts him about that, which is awesome to see that guy has some talents of his own. We also have Gorlas had just confronted uh, Chalice about Cutter, and Solara had just opened up to Barathol. So lots of cool stuff. Dang it, Barathol's captured. Don't like that. Char's on his way to go to Lady Spite's where he can be hidden. Man, just crying. That would be so jarring to see this big crying giant man running down the thing. Um, I hope Barathol's okay. That's the Mechar that I really, really like. Love Callum. Love Callum. But I get more humanity. I just get more out of Barathol. So dang it. See you in a second. I love that Kruppa is trying to give Cutter some advice here. And I also forgot about this whole temple to the freaking crippled god thing. The Merla and, just the craziest stuff. So I'm about to get to that right now. There's a freaking fly in here. I don't have any time for that. All right. I Merla Merla has just been blessed by the prophet to the crippled god. So good for her. Good for her. I'm happy for her. Um uh her son has been is be yeah, anyway. It's wild. Um what did he bless her in the name of? I bless you in the name of empty pity. How sweet. That's super sweet. It just warms my heart. And Bedek got his throat stepped on from other people trying to get to them, to the prophet of the crippled god. So, big fan. Big fan. That fly again. Dang it, Steven Erickson. I like Murillo. You kill him? Dang it. Dang it. He always does this. It's like, I kind of like everyone. And then it's like, oh, I really like this guy. Oh, I'll just kill him. I mean, I guess that just makes the deaths mean more. But I'm so angry by that. Dang it. Poor Harlow. Right? But going back to the scene before this, at least Merla and Bedek got blessed. Thank goodness for that. So there is a little bit of happiness in this chapter after all. Makes you feel good. Dang, that was cold. That was cold. After all that, Gorlas just takes Murillo's gold. Um, it would be a year's wages for the foreman, and he it's been a good day. And it ends here with if heart and courage are not enough, what is? What is? So, way to end the chapter on a downer, Stephen. All right, we're in chapter 18 now, and we have these hounds, and the shadow ones don't really, they're not really all about the light ones. But the light ones seem like the ones that are more loyal to Shadow Throne and everything. Anyway, um, and I think we already knew this, something like this, but the Daregoth, the darkness ones, are like a splitting. The first emperor, who wasn't really the first, has split his soul and is like he horcruxed into some dogs, 7 of them. So it's like Harry Potter stuff. Um, and then what's his face? Tulas Shorn shows up and he's like, "Hey, dogs, remember me?" And they're like, "No." And then, well, maybe they do, but they're like, "We like people who aren't bones." And then, uh, Shadow Throne, who's like, "We shouldn't do any suffering and stuff," is like, "I don't like this guy." Saw off his head, Cotillion. I hate him already. It's like, okay. But he doesn't say okay. And then Tulas sees the 2 Hounds of Light and is like, "What the heck are you guys doing, idiots? Don't you know that your leash is frayed and that they will turn on you eventually?" So who knows? Who knows if that'll eventually happen to Cotillion and Shadowthorn? But it sounds like that's happened before. And maybe it's not so much maybe these hounds are, yeah, I just wonder what's going to happen with these hounds if they will do something like that. I haven't even really considered that. So on to scene 2, whatever that is going to be. Probably going to be Troll coming back. Maybe he's probably out of this series. All right. So Calor is walking along, and in the other parts, he was like, I like being alone. And now he's like, it kind of sucks to be alone. And he offered up one of his wives like this eternal life of wandering around with him. And she's like, no, and cuts her own throat or whatever. And she's like, I don't want to be I don't want any part of that. But also because she could see inside of her how the possibilities of where that might go. And wild, 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 wild. He's an interesting fella, this Calor. Maybe him and Shalice should get together, or him and Solara. Yeah, it's probably where that's going. So, anyway, or him and Lady Envy. That'd be awesome. Or maybe none of them. Maybe he's just bad, but we did see him cry. So, holy crap! So big freaking God of War bear shows up. Those are just showing up again. The old animal gods that people worshipped. And there was a good point made earlier where he thought, is this how the animal worship started? Because they would, there's a freaking fly again. As soon as I do these it's the god of the flies or whatever. Stupid. Anyway, anyway, it was a cool. Already lost my train of thought. Um, Coming for Samar maybe, and even Carson Traveler. Like I wouldn't want to mess with that bear. The interesting point how even though all of these, they would take turns kind of being at the apex, the Jagged, the Chain Shamal, but time just moves on and no one can really get control of any of it. Um, and interesting note that Karsa, even though he would do a lot of the same sorts of stuff where he would destroy, like a lot of these people destroyed, or these creatures or whatever, these races destroyed, he would not claim to own uh, people that, how did he put it? How did he put it? Um, I shall destroy what I can, but never shall I claim to own what I destroy. So, nice sentiment, I guess. Let's keep going. Holy crap! There's an army inside of Dragnapur. The chaos is, it's fallen in. Half of the sky is chaos, which means whatever is inside of it is getting close, and there's an army chasing them. And they're like, how is there an army in here? And what's his face? Pearl, who I love Pearl, says, well, maybe this is like, when we died, part of our chaotic, whatever, came here and we don't want to meet them. So I am super, we have an army of Hood, and we have Hood's army, and we have this army of chaos, and that's freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. So I think I'm like, who knows if I'm even halfway through this chapter. It's probably the last one of this subbook. So we'll see. Freaking Kataspal is out of his mind. And I don't know if in this whole next couple pages, Steven Erikson was on something. Because he was on another level of just kind of out there. Ditch is becoming a god. And freaking Kataspal is like, bodies of text, all bodies, bodies and bodies, and bodies and smarties. And then he's like, one dream and one dream and one dream, one dream. And oh God, oh a God, yes a God, now a God, soon a God. Like, this is like Shel Silverstein is having a freaking aneurysm. And oh man, like it's just the weirdest. Like what is written on your soul and on your hole and in your skull, right? Now I make a god. So, makes sense. Makes sense. All right, the scene with Saland and Seerdamen, and Redeemer's like, "Are you still gonna fight her?" And she's like, "Well, I guess." This what's going on is just another play on, some of the big atrocities that we've seen in our own history based on, orthodoxy. Obviously, it's okay to have your beliefs and stuff, but when you go out like slaughtering the non-believers and things like that, the people who aren't certain and who are skeptical, which is totally natural to be skeptical about stuff, when they start slaughtering them, it's like Seer Dumin. He used to be a part of that crowd, and now Saland, I don't know if she's resisting it or what's happening, why she isn't attacking quite yet. But there's a lot playing out in this whole situation right here. So very, very cool. Small scene though, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Oh, this Monkrat guy was like a bridge burner or something. It seems to be saying that. Destroyed in pale with the remnants mopped up in the backbone. But he'd been a casualty long before that, so he's an OG bridge burner. In the next scene, we have Anamander Rake meeting up with the High Priestess, and he's about to like take off and finally do what he's been hinting that he's going to do. And he mentions they talk about worship and the same sorts of stuff that's come up about. He mentions that Endis Salon isn't so much washed up because he just did something so crazy that it leached his power, but that his faith is down. And because his faith is down, he doesn't have the same sort of power in him or whatever. So that's very cool. And, he is so sweet. He's such a nice guy sometimes. And very interesting at the very end here. High Priestess says, Mother Dark, hear me, heed me. You do not understand your son. You do not understand him now. Don't you see? This was all Draconis's doing. Still don't even know how to think of Draconis, but okay, so Rakanto fool all of them by doing this stupid move that got his sword flung in the air and like bashing himself in the head a couple times, and then the point goes right into this person's eye, and everyone's like, "Holy smokes, that was awesome!" But he like wet himself, so and then he's gonna strut a little bit, like, "Yeah, I did that." Awesome. All right, so all the ladies are getting cursed in this village or have been cursed, and now they're going to go find out if they could stop it. And pretty sure there's this Jagged up in this tower, so she maybe would be the cause of it. I don't know. I guess that would make sense. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I know I've said that a bunch, but trying something else this time where we're going scene by scene. All right, so we got this guy who put a curse on everyone because someone like rejected him. So, curse on everyone who hasn't had a kid. Makes sense. What a weird like side diversion thing with this Jagged, who is the former spouse of, the spouse of this provost guy. He buried her, then she like washed into the sea, and now she's back. And she's ticked off at him, and now is going to like kill the whole village. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. On to the next thing. Holy freaking crap. Okay, so apparently that whole crap where they were bringing Clip over, I knew they shouldn't have done that. So I thought the dying god was in a freaking doll, but like a part of him at least is in Clip. Obviously, those idiots. And now he's on his way. His real target isn't even Animander Rake. It's a freaking Ecovian Redeemer dude in the barrow. Dang it. So Clip, there's that frickin' fly again. Ah! Did I get him? Killed him. He's gonna come back as a. I bet that was someone. That might have been like my grandma, who died when I was 14. Back to like be on my shoulder and enjoy this moment with me. I might have killed her again. I mean, no one killed her the first time, but well, let's see where this chapter ends. Sorry, Grandma Fly. Stupid Grandma Fly ruined my train of thought. So Ketavis found out who it was and is like, Animander Rake's gonna see right through you. And then he quickly puts his hand on her mouth and stabs her, and out of his palm like this Kellic stuff falls out, and to the point where she doesn't even struggle anymore, and then she dies, and now he has to wait. And Aranatha, that's her name, right? Aranatha knows what's going on and tells Nimander, like, Clip is going to come in and pretend that that he's still Clip, and that Ketavis just fell off a ledge or whatever. He's going to be like despondent or pretending to be sad, but we have to play along. We can't let him know that we know. Um, Also, she loved Kedivus. Kedivus, you are a gift, and now your soul awaits as it must, for this is the fate of the Tistandi, our fate. We will wait until the wait is over. One more scene. One more scene, and then we're done. Subbook 3. Okay. Just finished. Endist is seeing off Animander Rake. Last time they'll see each other, probably. Um, Animandarake going into these trees and giving his goodbyes, and Rake is sad about that, and it's something that just has to be done. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Just wild. And now we get to it's backwards on here. Toll the Hounds. The namesake of the title of this book. So I'm excited. I am very excited. We'll see. I might be done this baby tonight, depending on how this goes. But probably at the latest, I'll be done. I'll be done this weekend, I'm sure. So we'll see. Bye. Are you my grandma? Are you my grandma? Just tell me. Wipe your hands together if you're my grandma. Oh, now you stop. Oh, there it is. You are my... Left.